Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most compelling and, frankly, fascinating figures in modern business history, N.R. Narayana Murthy. We're going to trace his incredible journey, following him all the way from his origins as a self-described confused leftist to becoming a billionaire capitalist, an absolute architect of global tech, and more recently, a really polarizing figure in the debate over modern workplace culture. It's a wild story of shifting worldviews and massive economic impact. Here's our roadmap for today. First, the compassionate capitalist, then building the Infosys empire, a global family network, the 70-hour workweek debate, and finally, legacy of an IT pioneer. Let's get right into it.
Part 1. The compassionate capitalist.
Okay, to really understand the mogul, we first have to understand the student. Born in India in 1946, Murthy actually grew up in a middle-class family and went on to earn a master's degree from IIT Kanpur in 1969. Now, back then, his political leanings were very, very different, but a defining moment totally flipped his worldview in 1974. Picture this, he's traveling through a border town near Yugoslavia and Bulgaria during the communist era, and he's suddenly arrested and expelled for literally no given reason. He later said this harsh experience completely shattered his previous worldview. It transformed him, in his own words, from a confused leftist or communist into a compassionate capitalist. He suddenly realized that wealth creation, not state control, was the real key to solving poverty. Fueled by this brand new capitalist ideology, he set out to build something. In 1981, alongside 6 other software pros, he founded Infosys. But here is the absolute craziest part of the story. He started this monumental, world-changing venture with an initial capital investment of just 10,000 rupees. And that money? It was actually provided by his wife, Sudha Murthy. That tiny 10,000 rupee leap of faith brings us right into part 2, building the Infosys empire. Looking at his career trajectory, it's just astounding. Murthy served as the CEO of Infosys for 21 straight years, from 1981 to 2002. During that time, he did something completely revolutionary. He designed and implemented the global delivery model for IT services outsourcing from India. Basically, he helped invent the way modern global tech works. He officially retired in 2011 as chairman emeritus, but actually stepped back in for a year in 2013 as executive chairman to help steady the ship when the company faltered. And his influence definitely didn't stop at Infosys. His success absolutely catapulted him onto the global stage. He became an independent director and advisory board member for a staggering list of institutions. We're talking massive financial heavyweights like HSBC and DBS Bank, huge consumer brands like Unilever, media networks like NDTV, and prestigious philanthropic entities like Cornell University, the UN Foundation, and the Ford Foundation. The guy was literally everywhere. So his implementation of that global IT outsourcing model didn't just transform India's economy, it changed how businesses everywhere operate today. And, naturally, it generated immense personal wealth. To put that into perspective, as of early 2025, Forbes estimates N.R. Narayana Murthy's net worth at a staggering $5 billion. But the empire building wasn't strictly corporate. Let's shift gears to part 3, a global family network. You see, this family holds incredible influence and prestige across the globe in their own right. His wife, Sudha, the woman who gave him that initial 10,000 rupees, she's a highly respected educator and philanthropist who served as the chairperson of the Infosys Foundation. Their son, Rohan, eventually branched out and founded his own highly successful tech company, Sirocco, back in 2014. But where this family network truly hits the highest levels of the global political stage is with his daughter, Akshata Murthy. In 2009, she married a British-Indian conservative politician named Rishi Sunak. And as we know, Sunak went on to serve as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 2022 to 2024. I mean, think about that. It is just a stunning display of a single family's reach, spanning global technology, philanthropy, and literally world leadership.
Now, despite all that monumental success, things have gotten pretty controversial recently. That brings us to part 4, the 70-hour workweek debate.
It really all boils down to one simple but completely explosive question. Exactly how many hours should we be working? In late 2023, Murthy sparked a massive, highly polarized public debate in India regarding employee expectations, basically explicitly rejecting the modern concept of work-life balance. So we have 2 fiercely clashing viewpoints here. On one side, Murthy argued that young people should be working 70-hour weeks to boost national productivity. He even praised the notorious Chinese 996 working hour system, which, by the way, means working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week, crediting it for China's rapid economic boom. Well, on the flip side, the public backlash was intense. Critics were quick to point out the severe physical and mental health detriments associated with that kind of overwork, not to mention the total lack of financial compensation for those extra hours. Plus, opponents highlighted a pretty major reality check: that 996 system was actually outlawed by the Chinese Supreme Court in 2021 because of the severe toll it took on workers. It was a huge ideological collision right there on the public stage. Following this absolute wave of internet backlash, Murthy did offer a clarification in late 2024. He stated his remarks were really meant as a, quote, matter of introspection and not debate. He pointed out that while he personally chose to work more than 12 hours a day for over 40 years to build his empire, he conceded that it was a personal choice, and such grueling hours should not be legally mandated for everyone. Which brings us to our final chapter: legacy of an IT pioneer. Because, setting the controversies over modern labor laws aside, it is absolutely impossible to discuss the modern tech landscape without acknowledging his foundational impact. His rise from a middle-class background to an IT titan has earned him a really incredible list of global honors. We're talking the Padma Vibhushan from India, the Legion of Honor from France, and the Honorary Commander of the Order of the British Empire. Fortune magazine even named him one of the 12 greatest entrepreneurs of our time. Major publications like Time magazine and CNBC haven't held back either, permanently cementing his legacy by dubbing him the father of the Indian IT sector. His vision for a global delivery model single-handedly sparked the outsourcing boom that redefined the Indian economy and integrated it right into the global tech ecosystem we all use today. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a rather profound question to ponder. How do we actually balance a billionaire's monumental economic legacy with his polarizing views on modern labor? We've seen how the shifting ideology of one guy, from a confused leftist to a compassionate capitalist, literally transformed the global economy. But as a totally new generation redefines productivity and work-life balance, how do those old-school demanding ideals fit into the future of our workplace? It's a question that goes way beyond Narayana Murthy. It challenges the very future of how we all define success. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember to always keep questioning the world around you.